Hello, my name is Mark Myers. I'm with Shop.com, and I'm here to talk to you today about Safari, Shop.com, and how it impacts your tracking with that cashback and IBV. One of the first things we need to talk about is what you need to know with Shop.com and Safari. The biggest thing that Safari's done and has changed is how it impacts cookies. Cookies are installed on your machine every day. Whenever you visit any kind of retailer, any kind of online website, a cookie is probably being installed. These are cookies that are used to provide login information, track your history, track your purchase behavior, you name it, it's on the site to help service you better when you come to a shopping website or any kind of account site, your bank, you name it, they've got all this stuff in these cookies to help service you better so they could help serve up proper information in front of you that you may be interested in or maybe pertinent for your experience on the site. Another part though is there's two types of cookies out there, but the main thing is a cookie is a data file. It's a small little data file that stores information. Your username and password to maintain you throughout the site, shopping carts, your account history, any kind of favorites you move around the site. You probably remember the old days of the old portals where you used to be able to move things around on the site that allowed you to store, hey, your weather over here and you want your news feeds over here. All that is done because cookies were used to save that information so that it maintained it on the site for you, so every time you came back that cookie reserved up that same information for you so you didn't have to move it back around and keep moving around again and again. But there's also two types of cookies. The cookie I'm talking about right now is more of like a first party cookie. These cookies are intended to be more directly involved with the site you're on. There's also the third-party cookie, is where we're going to be going with this. The third-party cookie is primarily like for tracking purposes. This is how your cashback and IBV is tracked. We use a third-party cookie to be able to track your sale. So when you place an order, we know that your order was placed. So it's primarily for using tracking, for advertising, for marketing purposes. That is the primary reason why third-party cookies are out there. You may also notice that you can see on your advertising sites or your news feeds or your Facebook page, your Instagrams, you name it. You'll probably go to Yahoo occasionally. You'll see ads served up from other websites or of products you've looked at, and you're wondering, how did they know I looked at that product on Yahoo or Instagram or Facebook? It's done through these third-party cookies. They use these to know kind of like what you've done or what you've visited and what kind of a tracking of where you've been on the internet. So what we're looking at here is the main difference between the two. The main difference between the two is that whoever sets the cookie. If it's the domain that you're on setting the cookie, that's the first party. If it's something that's done kind of behind the scenes, it's the third party, meaning you've been redirected by somebody. You came from a search engine, for example, and you hit a redirect URL, or you went to an ad on a website somewhere that you saw on a promotional page, and you said, okay, I clicked that ad, and you got redirected. Those are done through tracking links, and those are third-party cookies as well. So what we're going to take a look at is like, okay, as I said earlier, the first-party cookie is basically simple. If you didn't have a first-party cookie, you would be bounced around through your website. You wouldn't be able to log in. But every time you click on a page, if you didn't have cookies enabled, if you didn't even have a first-party cookie, you'd basically be bouncing around, logging in and out on every page. But and also the bigger part, let's say if you didn't have cookies, you added a product to your shopping cart, the product wasn't saved to the cart. Without cookies, you cannot maintain a user experience throughout the site when it comes to shopping and to having privacy on your account. So without the username and passwords, you wouldn't be able to stay logged in on the site. You'd be bounced in and out. If you didn't have cookies from first-party provider cookies, then you would end up not saving products to your shopping cart. You wouldn't be able to check out. You probably wouldn't even see your account information without cookies. These cookies are important to help maintain your user experience throughout the site. You also probably notice whenever you're on a product detail page, you'll notice that you'll see recommendations. You'll probably see, hey, you bought this product, you may also like this. That's done through those cookies because the site knows your history through these cookies. They know what you shopped through, what your behavior was, what was the previous page you looked at. So that you can see, like, hey, your web history, it stores this information so that we can serve it back up to you, say, hey, I know exactly where you've been. These are done through the first party. But here's where the third-party cookies come into play. Third-party cookies come into when you link off to a partner store and you leave shop.com, or when you go off to another site. These cookies are hitting a redirect page and it drops that little cookie on that page. This is important because we need to know where you're going, what you're doing, and did you make an order or not. This is important so that we know that you did this. If we don't have this cookie drop, we'll never know that you earned cashback or IBV. Now these aren't as intrusive. I mean, sometimes the cookies can be, these third parties are looked at as spyware and adware, but it isn't necessary to do it through cashback and loyalty sites like us. With shop.com, these third-party cookies are used to help ensure that you get cashback and IBV. If you block them, then you're not going to get cashback or IBV. Now this is where Safari has actually come into play and where it's actually causing some trouble. And this is where we're making some changes. So what did they actually change? Safari actually changed something called introduction of ITP right here. It's the ITP 2.0. It's an intelligent tracking prevention feature that is defaulted to all users when they upgraded to 12. So if you've got an older version of Safari, you're probably not going to be impacted by this. But if you got the newer versions of Safari right now, which is 12, you're going to have this ITP technology in your browser. It is designed to include this new feature called Tracker Collision Protection, which is focused really primarily on the redirecting of tracking links. And that's what impacts us the most too with our partner stores, because we do redirect you when it comes to a partner store. So when you go off to Home Depot here, when I mark a favorite, I'm going to go visit my partner store here, and at Home Depot I'm going to get my 2% cash back. When I link, it's going to take me to this page. This is a redirect page. On this page, a cookie is actually being dropped before you actually get redirected to Home Depot. But what's happening is that this is where Safari is actually engaging here. They don't want to drop that cookie, because on this page we're dropping this cookie, this third-party cookie here on your machine before you link off. As we link off, we're actually going to take you on to Home Depot. We drop that cookie, but the best way to kind of explain this is that, okay, as a shopper, you went on to shop.com, you clicked on Home Depot. This is a good way to kind of graphically, visually see this, is that I got my shopper here. He goes to shop.com. He's moving around on the site. He's doing everything he wants to on the site. He's buying product through shop.com. He's checking his account history, his cash back. He's checking all this activity on his site. He's having a good time. But then he wants to go off to Home Depot and make that purchase. He wants to earn some more cash back. We dropped that third-party cookie on the site. So what happens now is that ITP, if you have Safari, what Safari's doing is they're putting a block on that cookie. They're putting a wall there that says you cannot watch what my customer is doing anymore. You cannot see what's going on. So no matter what, we're going to lose you when you leave the site. So we'll never know that you actually made a purchase. So in this case, the advertiser cannot tell, hey, did this user place an order? So in my little cartoon drawing here, we have ITP is like a brick wall that prevents the third-party cookie from actually looking. That is what Safari introduced. And what we're trying to do is trying to figure out, this really only applies to Safari users right now, but it is coming. So what does this all apply to? Well, this applies to only those that are link off partners. It doesn't apply to any others other than that. It really just applies to those that you link off and you go to other websites through. Another one is also those who are not Safari ITP compliant. Now I'm saying Safari ITP compliant only because it's Safari only right now, but it is coming to other browsers down the road. But for now, I'm just saying Safari ITP compliant. But how do you know which ones are compliant? Well, who do you know who is compliant? Well, we're going to tell you. If you're using Safari and you get prompted with this page here, we're going to prompt you and tell you, you need to download Chrome. We chose Chrome because it's pretty much 99% effective, and it is pretty much always the best one to use when trying to track your purchases. So when we're looking at this site and you try to use Safari and you find a store that's not compliant, we don't want you to go onto the site. We want you to download Chrome. We want to make sure you get your cashback and IBV. So when you download this Chrome, you'll be able to shop securely and safely, knowing that, hey, you got your IBV and cashback. Me personally, I like to use Chrome directly mainly because I've been very successful. I've had very little orders not tracked through it. It comes predefined with the settings already at a medium standard to where it's pretty much going to accept third-party cookies and track them. And hopefully, I have my adware and spyware enabled. So usually, what I do always recommend, if you are running adware and spyware, you need to make sure you turn it off when shopping, no matter what browser you use. But you need to make sure that that is disabled before shopping to get your cash back in IBV. But you can, my best recommendation, this is why we're recommending Chrome, is that, if we detect that the partner store is not compliant, we are going to prompt you. And we are working with every partner store right now. They are working to get towards to be compliant. Our teams are working with their advertising agencies to make sure that they get compliant, and they are working towards it. But that is probably not going to happen until probably the beginning of next year, or just a few months after next year begins. So for now, the best way we can do this is let you know through this prompt that, hey, you're not going to track your purchase if you're going to use Safari. So it is recommended get Chrome and continue on, and that way you always got a good safe browser to shop with shop.com. Another thing is keep in mind it is good news. It does impact your Safari shopping on shop.com or anything else on shop.com. Anything dealing with the one carts or your Market America brands, none of that's impacted by this. This is only impact those that you link off to and go to shop at, such as a partner store like Walmart, Target, or Home Depot, or any of your favorite stores, making sure that whenever you hit that redirect page, Safari's checking for that third-party cookie. So just keep in mind, this is only for those kind of stores, not your one cart or your Market America brand products on shop.com. And finally, at this time, just so you know, this isn't just for Safari, but for now it is. It is coming down the road that Mozilla Firefox will be coming out with ITP technology next year, probably around January or so. Just be on the lookout. That will happen, and other browsers may follow. But hopefully by then, all the merchants will be upgraded to ITP compliant for all your partner store needs. But if you have any questions, please reach out to us at customer service, and we'll be able to help you as much as we can. But for now, this is the best way I thought I'd get out in front of it, is explain to you what it actually is going on, because this is coming, it is going to be happening for other browsers such as Firefox, Opera, Chrome may even come out with it. I don't know, I've not heard yet on Chrome, but it may come out eventually. But we are working to get our partner stores compliant. Again, one more time, I just want to let you know that, hey, before I end this segment, I want to let you know, remind you to go out to shop.com and continue shopping and earning your IBV and cash back. But also remember, no matter what browser you use, be sure to make sure your cookie settings are set properly, that you are using Chrome right now. If you are using Safari, maybe switch to Chrome. If you are experiencing problems right now with IBV and cashback tracking, maybe try Chrome. If you're not using Chrome already, maybe try a different browser to see if the settings may be affecting your order tracking, or at least try and make sure your spyware and adware is not enabled while you're shopping. Any one of these little setting features can interfere with your cashback, not just with Safari. So just for all browsers in general, make sure your settings are set properly so when you shop that your cashback and IBV tracks properly. Well, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you watching this video. If you have comments or any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and happy shopping, and thank you for choosing shop.com. Have a great day.